The middle class was promised a simple bargain: earn more money, and life would finally feel easier. Millions of people did exactly that. They climbed the ladder, doubled their income, moved into better neighborhoods. And yet, when they look at their bank accounts at the end of the month, the feeling is almost indistinguishable from when they earned half as much. This is not a failure of income. This is a failure of psychology. And it operates through four invisible mechanisms that most people will spend their entire lives never identifying. The first mechanism has a clinical name: hedonic adaptation, but its effect is anything but clinical. Every time income rises, the brain recalibrates what normal feels like. The new apartment becomes the baseline. The better car becomes the minimum. The dinners out stop feeling like rewards and start feeling like necessities. A man who once felt wealthy eating at a mid-range restaurant now feels uncomfortable doing so. Upward. Not because his circumstances worsened, but because his reference point silently moved. Studies tracking income and reported well-being found something that defies intuition. Beyond a certain threshold, additional income produces almost no lasting increase in daily emotional experience. The paycheck grows, the expenses grow, and the sensation of financial pressure remains almost unchanged. This is the hedonic treadmill. A person runs faster every year, and the landscape never changes. The second mechanism is more personal and more difficult to admit. Most people believe they spend money on things. In reality, they spend money on maintaining who they believe they are. The question stops being, "Do I need this?" The question becomes, "What will people think of me if I don't have it?" A man earns a promotion and feels an invisible pressure to upgrade his car. Not because the old one stopped working, but because the new title seems to require a new image. Lifestyle inflation, in this sense, is not a financial error. It is a psychological subscription, one that auto-renews every time identity and status become entangled. People believe they are upgrading their lives. In many cases, they are simply increasing the cost of maintaining the version of themselves they feel obligated to perform. The tragedy is not the spending itself. The tragedy is that most of it happens below the level of conscious awareness. The third mechanism is ancient. Human beings do not measure their financial position against the world. They measure it against the people immediately around them, not the poorest, not the wealthiest. The ones just slightly ahead. The colleague with the newer car, the neighbor with the larger house, the university friend whose career appears from the outside to be accelerating slightly faster. Social comparison is not a flaw in human psychology. It was a survival mechanism, a way to track position within a group that determined access to resources. But in modern society, that mechanism misfires constantly. The reference group expands to include curated social media profiles, inflated lifestyles, and performances of wealth that bear little relationship to actual financial reality. A person earning more than 90% of the population can still feel financially inadequate. If the 10% they observe daily happen to earn more, the comparison is never downward, it is always upward, and it is almost always invisible. The fourth mechanism may be the most quietly destructive. There is always a number just ahead that promises resolution. 50,000, then 80, then 6 figures, then more. At each threshold, the same thought appears. When I reach this, things will finally feel stable. And at each threshold, the feeling fails to arrive. 32-year-old earning $150,000 once described the experience with a precision that most financial advice refuses to acknowledge. He was embarrassed, he said, to still be living paycheck to paycheck at that number. The embarrassment is revealing because it shows that the problem was never the income. The problem was the belief that income alone was the solution. The milestone moves faster than the earnings, and the gap between where a person stands and where they believe they need to be never actually closes. It simply relocates upward, dragging the same anxiety along with it. The most dangerous prison is the one society calls achievement. Real wealth is rarely visible. It is not the car in the driveway or the brand on a wristwatch. It is not the neighborhood, the title, or the lifestyle that others are invited to observe. Real wealth is the ability to choose, the ability to pause when the world demands acceleration, the ability to say no to expenses that serve identity rather than life. The feeling of financial suffocation that follows rising income is not a mystery. It is a predictable consequence of allowing the mind to remain on automatic, spending in response to adaptation, identity, comparison, and imaginary future thresholds. The mechanism does not break on its own. It breaks only when a person decides to see it clearly. Understand your mind or money will quietly control it.